very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Lord with the CBC Evening News. In our top story, Prime Minister Frundell Stewart is tonight contending that the opposition's no confidence motion had no merit. That motion was defeated just after 2 this morning, knocked down 16 votes to 12. Now, at the time, the Prime Minister said he heard nothing that he could regard as breaking news for his government to defend.
This no confidence motion is now, or rather has been, an attempt to create some kind of platform on the basis of which this new career can be launched. Well, the motion is going to be defeated. The government is voting against it. The government does not depend on the opposition for its sense of self.
Mr. Stewart added that his administration continues to work in the best interest of Barbados.
This government knows what it is doing, and we are going to continue to get Barbados back on track. I said it when I launched the 50th anniversary celebrations. We are not perfect. We are not perfect as a party, as a government. We are not perfect as a country. Perfection is the exclusive preserve of the Almighty. But we are committed to making sure that we leave Barbados a better place than it was when we came and found it.
And the opposition is planning to take to the streets. Its leader, Mia Mottley, says they will be staging what she is calling a walk for justice next Thursday. In her wrap-up of the debate on the motion of no confidence, Ms. Mottley encouraged Barbadians to wear white to the walk, which will start at midday. The last walk by the opposition was held in July 2014.
This is not about blue or red or yellow. This is not about BLP or DLP. This is about Barbados, sir. And not only is it about Barbados, sir, it is about the walk and not the talk that you heard from the government in here. Sir, I will ask members and the private sector to give people an extended lunchtime, but we will speak to that tomorrow.
Yes, all right, thank you.
In the circumstances, sir,
thank you.
I want to thank you for your forbearance, and would like now formally to move yet again that this motion of no confidence in the government of Barbados stands, and that it finds merit with those in here who have a conscience and who want to stand in the breach for Barbadians.
Well, Ms. Mottley says the BLP parliamentarians have also decided not to accept the 10% increase in salaries until certain conditions are met.
Until such time as the public servants of this country receive a wage increase that they have not had since 2008, and until such time, that was the last wage increase, it ended for 2009. And secondly, until such time as the workers who have been sent home 2 years ago receive their settlements, namely the NCC workers and the Beautify Barbados workers. That is our position clear.
Government has abandoned plans for a waste-to-energy plant in Barbados. The announcement from Environment Minister Dr. Dennis Lowe in the House of Assembly last night. Now, the decision comes after months of controversy and debate over the proposed plasma gasification project, which was to be developed by Cahill, an overseas-based company. Dr. Lowe disclosed that a heads of terms agreement laying out the possible points of negotiating an agreement for that project was completed. He says a number of town hall meetings were also held, but stressed that no application was submitted to the Town and Country Planning Department for that plant.
The public asked the government to slow down on the project and give itself some more time to understand the technology. We've done that, Mr. Speaker, sir. And recent events in England and other places around waste-to-energy operations, plasma gasification has shown up some significant flaws. The government of Barbados would have to be absolutely collectively mad move ahead on an option where there is global evidence that there are flaws with the technology. So I assure the public today, the government ain't going nowhere with that option.
And Dr. Lowe says government chose to undertake a waste-to-energy program because the country is running out of space to build more dumps. He says his ministry is also challenged to cope with emissions from the landfills. The Environment Minister insists that the government cannot afford to make any decisions which will affect taxpayers.
When the people in Greenland and Shuri Village asked the government then to stop, to be cautious and not to move ahead, including with a court case. Yes. Mr. Speaker, sir, you know what happened? They went ahead and $100 million later, not a piece of garbage, and the taxpayers now have to pay back the money.
Finance Minister Chris Sinclair plans to launch an investigation into the alleged placement of funds from a government subvention to that party into a private foundation account.
I am saying, Mr. Speaker, sir, that I may very well have to ask that an audit be done to find out where the taxpayers' money may have gone. Those allegations did not start with me. I didn't make them up, but they have been put on the public record and are there for anybody who wants to go into the court and pull them out. I am saying it's a very serious thing.
Mrs. Sinclair has also challenged the opposition's outrage over the proposed reinstatement of the 10% of parliamentarian salaries that was voluntarily removed. He charges that at the time the issue first came up, the opposition said it would only support the cut conditionally.
Because in the whole package, we have restored the salaries of parliamentarians, as with all the other things that have been restored or removed. That is the one thing that we, who were told that we were playing gimmicks with the public of Barbados by cutting our salaries, we are now being told that we are insensitive. So it is political gimmickry when you cut it, and now it is insensitivity when you restore it. You can't win.
Meantime, opposition St. Andrew MP George Payne has criticized members of the ruling administration for their response to the no-confidence motion. In his contribution to the debate, Mr. Payne lauded the content of the motion while knocking the administration for handling a number of issues, including CLICO.
Nothing has been paid by government, and if this thing continues, we will be in a situation where the assets of the Sahel company will be diminished year by year. The liabilities will be going up. And in the end, the exercise will be a worthless exercise. We could have been liquidated, sold out. And if government wanted to make certain payments, whether through the National Insurance Board or what, they could have made those payments. But this is a serious problem.
Prime Minister Frundell Stewart has been talking about the importance of literature to all aspects of life. And he was speaking at the launch of the BIM Literary Festival and Book Fair over at Ilara Court.
The BIM Lit Fest is now in its third year. Over the next few days, it will focus on the youth and encouraging them to read more. And this has found favour with Prime Minister Frundell Stewart. He says there is no better instrument for the development and training of young minds.
Concerns remain at the national level about the participation by the population of all ages in the literary arts, especially in the critical area of reading, not always helped, of course, by the preoccupation with the gadgets that modern technology provides. This initiative to use this festival to nurture that skill, as well as the skill of writing in Barbados and across the region, will certainly slow the advance of any threats to the development of the literary arts in Barbados.
On a wider scale, Mr. Stewart says the importance of literature to the island and the region as a whole is critical, and he pledged his support to moving the agenda forward.
Our writers have enriched the narrative of our struggle and have articulated with feeling our challenges and our triumphs against sometimes daunting odds. We have those among us who continue to carry the mantle of hope while directing attention to areas of concern. Those who write about our achievements, but at the same time, remind us that we still have a long way to go if we are to convert constitutional independence from just a change of flag to a change of attitude.
The festival features several events that, among other things, examine and celebrate the work of overseas writers. Founder and director Esther Phillips explains why this is important.
But it's the cross-fertilization of ideas, the catching of fire of the imagination in new ways when we are afforded opportunities to see through different lenses, or equally valuable, to have that feeling of affirmation in discovering that we share common experiences.
The Lifetime Achievement Award this year was presented to Paul Marshall, an American born to Barbadian parents. Her son accepted the award on her behalf. Lisa Broom, CBC News.
Well, coming up, a startling revelation about children in Barbados and marijuana, and we'll have a live report from BMX.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial star 153 number sign to sign up to Digicel today.
Presidia, the personal accident coverage from Guardian Life. Live secure. Live easy.
Celebrating 50 years of gender and development, the Bureau of Gender Affairs is inviting nominations for persons who will be honored for their contributions to gender and development and social justice in Barbados. Nominees must be Barbadian nationals over the age of 18 and should have made a significant impact on improving the lives of women and men. Nomination forms may be collected from and returned to the Bureau of Gender Affairs, 6th floor, Baobab Tower, Warren, St. Michael. Forms must be accompanied by a statement of recommendation and must be submitted no later than Saturday, May 14, 2016. Call 310-2105 for further information.
Well, the biggest manufacturers exhibition on the island is underway at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre, and there has been a lot of buzz about this year's BMX. Our Ryan Broom is live at the exhibition. Ryan, what is all this buzz about?
Well, not so much buzz right now though, Lisa, because it's a little quiet at Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre now, and that's because the judging of the exhibits is going on, and some exhibitors are also putting together their things, like right here next to me where the MCTV booth is. But other than that, the opening ceremony is also going on right now. But earlier today, the school children had their turn, and our Lorna Jones was there to catch some of that action.
Yes, Ryan, it was an exciting day for school children at BMX today. They had a chance to take in the sights, the sounds, and the taste that the manufacturers had to offer.
They sampled products ranging from ice cream to breadfruit chips. For Brianna Williams, head girl at Deacon's Primary, it was a chance to get a glitter tattoo and her favorite milkshake.
The most interesting thing I saw today was the tattoos, because everybody was getting a tattoo with glitter in different colors and purple. I got one, but mine was in gold. And just ending off my day with one of these because I have enough fresh candy. I just enjoying my day with my teachers and my classmates.
But it wasn't only fun and games. The schools were there also to showcase some interesting exhibits. From fine leather craft, jewelry and art to food and environmentally sustainable exhibits. The Holy Innocents Primary School had a stunning display of products made from recycled PET bottles. Eden Lodge Primary School teacher Miranda Fergus says an event like BMX is important for children.
Coming to BMX is a very important thing for children. If we are trying to develop entrepreneurship, they need to see real life examples. So it is very important for all school children and people to come to BMX every year because they get to see different examples of industries that they themselves might want to pursue. So I thought it was very important to bring my class, and as at any age, I saw reception students, my children are infants B. If we want to develop the entrepreneurship society, then we have to start as early as possible.
Ryan, it was like a fun day at school for me all over again. Back to you.
Well, thank you, Lorna. I did say it was quiet, but I do have here with me one of the buyers who came from overseas to just check out some of the things we have here at BMX. It's a buyer from Canada. His name is Mr. Prakash Narain, and I just want to find out from him now what are the reasons that you find yourself at BMX, and is this your first time?
Well, Ryan, no, it's not my first time, but I was invited by the BDIC, and I came up to look at prospects, the products we can sell to Canada, especially now that you have the BMX, we can see what's available here in Barbados that can suit my market over there.
So what kind of specific products are you looking at?
Well, I'm a food distributor, so I'm looking for food items that are going to be suitable for the Canadian market, and I did find a few products that are interesting and new and innovative, actually.
In what particular range? Are you talking about some of the spices and so on, or what?
Well, traditionally, Bajan spices are very, very popular in any part of the world. But what I found this time was very interesting. Stuff like coconut flour, cassava flour, things like that, that's new, innovative, and, a big thing for right now for gluten-free. And those products are gluten-free, and I think it's a new, innovative type of products that, I didn't expect to see, which is good.
So you think you'd definitely be coming back here again next year to BMX?
For sure. BMX, the energy level is pretty high here. You got products, from paint to sauces, etc., and everything is here. So it's good atmosphere, a lot of good products on show. The suppliers are very willing to engage in good conversation as well. It's good.
Thank you very much, Mr. Narain. And Lisa's back to you, but before I go, the BMX does officially start tomorrow, Saturday. It continues then on Sunday, and then it wraps up on Monday. So from here at LESC, back over to you, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Ryan. So lots to see and do over at BMX going on at the Lloyd Erskine Sanford Center. And of course, you need to check out our MCTV booth. Well, results of a survey on marijuana use in Barbados shows that children as young as 7 years old are using the drug. And officials in the criminal justice system say these figures are a serious cause for concern. Supreme Court Registrar Madam Justice Barbara Cook Aline says many children who come before the court have used marijuana.
When you come to the court and you plead guilty as a child, we do tests on you. The psychological, psychiatric, it's a holistic thing we want to do to make sure that everything is okay. We check your home life, school life, and we also do a drug test. Evidence base has showed us that 44% of the children coming before the court are using marijuana, even those who are not charged possession of it. So I'm really concerned about the use of it and how it's affecting our young people.
And she says more children are committing assault now than in 2014.
What is interesting in 2015 was a change altogether in both the male population and the female population coming to the court. And I'm quite concerned at that. In 2015, we found that theft was no longer number one. For the boys, it's number 3. Assault was number 1. One was no longer 1-to-1 for the girls. Assault was number 1. So we've seen evidence of some violence among our young people increasing and coming before the courts. And this is of great consternation to me.
Madam Justice Cook Aline was speaking at the opening ceremony of the 11 Plus program in the Winner's Circle, Making the Right Choice, a program for children focusing on managing peer pressure and negative influences in society. Director of the Criminal Justice Research and Planning Unit, Cheryl Willoughby, says we need to focus on teaching young children about the dangers of drug use.
We need now to redouble our efforts, not at 11, but we have to start at the nursery level, when children can understand safe drugs and bad drugs. We have to start with the little cough medicines and so on, and build them up to a stage where they understand that certain drugs are not good for their bodies.
And the Ministry of Transport and Works is promising relief for residents of White Hill over in St. Andrew, and the MTW says it will resume work on a temporary road from next week. In a release issued today, the Ministry of Transport and Works says the road failures in White Hill are still a priority. And from Tuesday, May 17th, work will restart on a temporary road for the residents there. But the ministry says a geotechnical study is urgently needed to find out the exact cause for these failures. Now, once the study is completed, the best solution to the road's problems can be determined. Geophysical, geotechnical, hydrogeological, and engineering investigations are expected to be carried out in that study. But in the meantime, the temporary road will be under construction. The road at Whitehill, which forms part of the unstable Scotland district, has been closed for some time as the land in the area has been shifting and the road constantly breaking away. Land slippages have happened frequently in the Whitehill area over the years, and the ministry has periodically deployed work crews to perform corrective work in the failed areas. A temporary road was started in December last year. As a safety precaution due to the instability of the area, a 2-ton restriction was implemented. The Ministry of Transport and Works says it is committed to maintaining the safest conditions on its roads for all who use it. A top-of-the-line demonstration farm and training center is set to be unveiled by year-end by the Ministry of Agriculture, and authorities say it may pull Barbados out of its economic and agricultural slump.
It promises to be a showcase of the most modern agricultural technology on the island, taking up about 25 acres of the ministry's own land in Graham Hall, Christchurch. When completed, farmers, householders and students will be encouraged to observe and hopefully imitate best practices seen on the farm.
We're going to have aquaponics, hydroponics, vertical agriculture. We're going to have what we call protective agriculture using things like greenhouses.
Aquaponics is the process of raising fish and plants together, a combination of aquaculture and hydroponics. Katrina Adams of Adams Aqualife is the consultant for the building of those systems, as well as the tilapia ponds.
The reason why the ponds are so large is that in the future the ponds are also going to be used to irrigate the same ground crops and the crops as well in the greenhouses.
If all goes well, the public will benefit from hands-on demonstrations of various aquaponic techniques. Ms. Adams says they'll also learn to manage small backyard systems, which are easy to set up and are extremely cost-effective.
The systems can be set up for a couple $100, and then obviously from a small system you can get all your lettuce, all your herbs, your chives, your basil, even tomatoes, sweet peppers. So for a household you won't have to ever buy those things again.
Permanent Secretary in the Agriculture Ministry, Esworth Reed, says beyond aquaponics, plenty other options exist for householders with limited space.
Vertical agriculture, we put up things like trellises, where you can have tomatoes running up, cucumbers running up. I have seen in certain places where people grow melons and that type of thing on these trellises.
Although not giving an exact figure, Mr. Reed says the construction of the project is inexpensive. He hopes the technology unveiled in November encourages the youth especially to see agriculture as an exciting and modern science. Denise Blackman, CBC News.
And still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across our region.